He was calling me to talk about the dynamics of taking a harder line on China, viewing me as a kind of ally. And of course, when you have Stephen Bannon on the phone, you don't limit it to that. So I let the conversation stay on that for about 10 minutes, and then I started asking him a whole bunch of other questions. I think when he talked about the far right being a bunch of clowns, he was just doing that to kind of ingratiate himself with me. I mean, obviously, given his whole history, given the role that he played at Breitbart, bringing these people in as a base constituency for Trump, he obviously doesn't believe that. It's not like he's had a midnight conversion based on a conversation with me and has suddenly decided that these people are bad guys.
The rule of law is going to exist when you talk about our sovereignty and you talk about immigration. General Kelly and Attorney General Sessions are adamant, that, and you're going to start to see, I think, with the defense budget we're going to talk about next week when we bring the budget out.
This is a guy whose whole stock in trade is bravado. He's very much like Trump in that regard, and this is what people who swagger, they do. They boast about how much power they have. They boast whose head's going to be chopped off, and I kept saying to myself, God, I hope he doesn't say we're off the record, aren't we? Because he never bothered to, because obviously these are not the sort of things you say to a journalist when you know you're on the record.
It's not only not going to get better, it's going to get worse every day in the media. And here's why. But by the way, the internal logic makes sense. They're corporatist, globalist media that are adamantly opposed.
Look, there are two possibilities. I mean, either he made a completely uncharacteristic rookie error, because this is one of the most sophisticated media manipulators in the world, by not specifying that it was off the record, or he had some convoluted scheme where he wanted it to be on the record. And, yesterday he did an interview, of all places, with the Daily Mail, British paper, in which he said, oh, I meant this to be on the record all along, because I wanted to distract the media's attention from the obsession with Charlottesville. Well, so he's completely contradicted himself in the space of 24 hours. He's in good company. This is the kind of thing Trump does. And so I think Bannon is betting that as long as he has the president in his corner, he's safe from his other enemies. You can only imagine what General Kelly is saying. I mean, General Kelly is supposed to be making sense out of this, and guys aren't supposed to be freelancing. And here's Steve Bannon picking up the phone and calling the editor of the American Prospect. I think he wanted to get these views out. He wanted to see if I could be courted as some kind of an ally, but I think he probably didn't think I was going to quote him verbatim. But I didn't break any rule because he did not put the conversation off the record. And I don't think that he deliberately gave me that kind of stream of consciousness with that kind of damaging quote, thinking that I would quote it directly. But who the hell knows? This is a very strange guy.